Hi everyone, welcome back to Erika's Corner. So today I have a relatively simple paper craft project for you all. So here I'm going to show you. This is what we will be making. These tissue paper, I made a flower and that's what I'll be showing you, but you can make really any pattern that you want. That's the nice thing about this. I drew this flower. So if you're doing this with older kids, you can have them draw whatever shape they like, whether that's, something as simple as a heart, whether it's a house or a castle, or maybe a team logo for a sports team if you have those colors available to you or anything like that. Another good way, if you aren't the best, don't feel confident in your drawing abilities, I guess I should say, you can also print out from the internet like a coloring page or something like that and then use this same technique. So what we'll need today is I've got some glue. I'm just going to do this on index cards today. And then I have pieces of colored tissue paper. So you can also use this. I've cut mine into small pieces. You can also, it doesn't have to be squares. You can rip this. You can have the kids rip it. The other thing you can use is I just have like colored printer paper. This doesn't work as well because it doesn't, because of like the thickness of it, it doesn't press down as easily, but you can do it with that if you don't have the tissue paper available. I've also used my, like party supplies or like wrapping paper. The tissue paper from there works just fine as well. So what we're gonna do, make sure I actually have a pen to start. So I'm gonna bring you guys down so that you can see what I am doing. There we go. All right, so I'm just gonna start by, like I said, I'm gonna do a flower one again like this. So I'm just gonna draw a simple flower shape. The great thing about this activity is that you can do it with really any age group. You can make it more complex or more simple depending on how old they are. Like for this one, I just colored in the background. So to make it more complex, you could do this tissue paper on the whole thing. You can see here I did larger size to make it more complex. You could do them super, super, super tiny, right? So all we're going to do is you're just going to scrunch them up. And just for this one, just because I made my circle there really tiny, we're going to go ahead and fill it in like that. So all you have to do is just add some glue. What I did this with my pre-K class earlier today. So I helped them by adding the glue on for them. If they're older kids, obviously they can do it themselves. And like I said again too, these ones were pre-cut pieces of paper. You can just rip them. You can do them bigger. So the littler ones we're doing bigger. It covers more surface area, right? But the trick is you just really want to fill in all of those white spaces, all of those gaps. So again, with this one as well, like I said, we're doing a flower here. I have done this as like a larger flower. I've done a vase of flowers before. You could do it as a rocket ship. We could do it as a tree. You could do it as a self-portrait project with the kids. So really all I'm doing here is just crumpling up that piece of paper and sticking it onto here where I put my glue. Let's see, I'm going to add one more here. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Alrighty, so the other trick that I like is with a scrap piece of paper or something like that, just to press it down instead of using your hands so you don't get your hands all sticky. And then that just helps to sort of also fill in those gaps there. So So if you keep going and doing that, it will come out looking something like this. I prefer to use thicker paper. This was some watercolor paper that I had. Like I said, I'm using an index card here just because we're putting the liquid glue. So regular computer paper, tilt us back up here. Hello. Regular computer paper sometimes will just get flimsy. It might rip. Another great one too is if you just have cardboard box. This is one of my favorite things. I love to use for bases for things if we are going to be using glue, if we're going to be using paint. It's so much thicker than regular computer paper, and it's really an accessible resource to get. It's a lot cheaper than trying to buy canvas or trying to buy that thicker art paper. So it makes it, I think, a lot more accessible for folks to be able to do a bunch of different crafts and not have them be super flimsy, like if we're going to be using just, the computer paper. So I hope that you enjoyed this craft, and I will see you all next time. Happy crafting!